What's up, y'all? I'm going to show you my black and white conversion technique in Photoshop. I'll go through this pretty quick for you here. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the adjustments I've already made and see if we can get there from scratch. Straight away, I can see that the highlights are just a little bit punchier in some spots than I'm going to eventually want. And I want to preserve the detail too. Really, it's mostly the hand. Everywhere else is fine. So I'm going to make a copy of the background layer, Command J. And on that layer, I'll just do a camera raw filter. And I think I'm going to bring the highlights down by half. I think that's what I did before. So hopefully that'll be right. Yeah, almost there. Yep, that'll do for that. Now that we've got those highlights under control, we'll go ahead and we'll hit the black and white adjustment layer, which is going to give us gray. Gray on gray, not black and white. Which is, not what we really want. Depending on the colors that are in your image, you can play with these sliders to affect where you want the eventual blacks of your black and white and the whites of your black and white to be. I know Ivan's shirt is yellow, yellow orangish. It's orange, not yellow. So if I pull this, I actually have a preset that'll probably do exactly what I want for this, but I'm gonna go by the seat of my pants here. If I just pull this down a touch just to darken it, right there, right about there. That'll do for that. And it's still, pretty gray. So we're gonna do a pretty strong S curve and a curves adjustment layer. And S curve is when we bring down the shadows. We bring up the mids and we push the highs a bit as well. And already it's pretty darn close to what I want. Not all the way there, but pretty darn close. I have another small adjustment. I like to do the highlights in a levels adjustment just to bring them up just a smidge. This is like my dash of kosher salt for the highlights. And right about there, I think we'll do. And we'll do all of our other adjustments in curves. That's the only different type of adjustment layer I use for this. I think I'm going to bring down the shadows a bit more globally, but I don't want to affect those mids. I like the midtones where they're at, so I'll keep that up. Keep that right up there. Good. Yeah, that's a bit much. There we go. And then one more time, we'll bring the entirety of the image down a touch. That's about the value I think I want in the majority of the image. I still want to punch the shadows on his face a bit more so I get a bit more separation and contrast between these two spots. But I'm going to start with the highlights here just to be sure. And get those up to where I want them to be. And right about there should do it. And I'll hit Command I to invert the layer mask. And I'm just going to paint the highlights back in where I want them with a white brush. Nice soft white brush. Yeah. I dig that. That's good. I like that. Good, good. And now I just need to bring these shadows down a bit more. Nothing crazy. I don't want to like crush them completely. I still want some detail there. Right about there should be good. Once again, we'll invert the layer mask, Command or Control I, depending on whether you're on a Mac or a PC. And I'll just brush into these shadows right here. And I can take this opportunity to bring down some other bright spots too. Like I don't want that to be quite so bright on his thumb right there. I can bring that down some. I might even go in and take that out completely, but it doesn't totally bug me. We'll leave it for now. I'll bring the shadows down here a little bit more too. Just because that's bright. It's still a little bright. Okay, that's good. I want the highlights on his face to be a little stronger. Do I? No. No, it's good the way it is. Don't overthink it. Don't overcook it, right? And that gives us the values that we want. That's pretty darn close, I think, to what I did already. The very last thing I like to do is make a stamp visible. So we'll hit Shift Control Alt E or Shift Command Alt E if you're on a Mac. And I'm just going to do a layer of sharpening just to give it a little bit more punch overall. So we'll change this layer. It's already desaturated. If we were doing this in color, we'd have to desaturate the layer first. It's already in black and white. Don't have to do that. Change the blend mode to overlay. Do filter, other, high pass filter. I think a radius of about 8. This is what I typically do when I'm sharpening anything in Photoshop. Sometimes I'll bring the opacity down to not have it hit so hard, but in a black and white image like this, I really like that crunchy feel that it gives it. And that's it, guys. That's how I do it. We should double check. I'll double check my work to see if I got it exactly. It's probably not exact. Let's see. This is the original. This is the new edit. That is danger close. It's danger close. I like it. Cool, guys. Thanks for watching.